Around 3:14 a.m., the prisoner was transferred, his face forever hidden behind cold steel. For over 3 centuries, the identity of the man in the Iron Mask has haunted French history. A prisoner of state, held in the highest security, whose face was never revealed to anyone, not even his jailers. His story is one of ultimate secrecy, a dark stain on the Sun King's reign. The first official record of this enigmatic figure dates to 1669. A letter from Louis Roman XIV minister, the Marquis de Louvois, to Bénin d'Auvergne de Saint-Mars, the governor of the prison at Pignerol in the distant Alps. The letter outlines precise instructions. The prisoner, referred to as Eustache Dorger, was to be kept in a cell with multiple doors, none directly facing the outside. His needs were to be met, yet he must never speak to anyone but Saint-Mars. Most crucially, if Dorger ever attempted to reveal his identity or speak of anything other than his immediate needs, Saint-Mars was ordered to kill him without hesitation. A stark warning of the secret's immense importance. Over the decades, as Saint-Mars was promoted and transferred to various prisons, so too was Eustache Dorger. From Pignerol to Exiles, then the formidable fortress of Sainte-Marguerite, and finally, the infamous Bastille in Paris. It was during his final incarceration at the Bastille that the legend truly solidified. The mask, initially described as velvet, evolved in popular imagination into one of iron, a crueler, more permanent symbol of his enforced anonymity. The prisoner died in the Bastille on November 19, 1703, and was buried under the name Marchiali. But even in death, the secrecy persisted. His cell was thoroughly cleaned, walls scraped and whitewashed to remove any trace of his existence. His belongings were burned, even the furniture destroyed. It was an almost frantic effort to erase the past, to ensure the secret would die with him. But this very effort, of course, only fueled further speculation. Voltaire, the celebrated philosopher, was among the first to popularize the tale in his 1751 work, The Age of Louis Roman XIV. He claimed to have heard the story from men who had served at the Bastille. Voltaire's account painted a vivid picture: a young, handsome man of noble bearing, always wearing the Iron Mask. He was treated with reverence, his every need met, but his identity was kept under absolute lock and key. This fueled the wildest theories. Who could be so important, yet so dangerous, as to warrant such extreme measures? The list of potential candidates grew, each more scandalous than the last. One prominent theory posited he was an older, illegitimate brother of Louis Roman XIV, born from a secret affair between Anne of Austria and Cardinal Mazarin, or even the Duke of Buckingham. A royal secret too explosive to ever be revealed. Such a figure, if legitimate, would have a stronger claim to the throne than Louis Roman XIV himself, born years later. Imprisoning him was the only way to prevent a catastrophic challenge to the Sun King's power. Another theory, gaining traction after the French Revolution, suggested he was Louis Roman XIV's twin brother, born hours after the future king. Such an event would have been a grave threat to the principle of primogeniture. A second twin, if publicly known, could have sparked civil war in later years, as factions vied for their preferred monarch. The solution: hide one, erase him from history. Then there's the theory of Nicolas Fouquet, the disgraced superintendent of finances. Fouquet had amassed immense wealth and power, even rivaling the king, before being imprisoned for embezzlement in 1661. Fouquet was indeed held at Pignerol under Saint-Mars's supervision. Some historians believe that Eustache Dorger was merely a code name for Fouquet, whose identity was too politically sensitive to be openly spoken. However, Fouquet died in 1680, years before the man in the Iron Mask. While some suggest a body swap, the historical records for Fouquet's death are generally considered reliable. Another dramatic suggestion: the prisoner was an impostor, a servant who had taken the place of a more important figure, perhaps the real Fouquet, and was then kept silent to maintain the deception. Modern historians, however, lean towards a less sensational, yet still intriguing, explanation. The most compelling evidence points to a man named Eustache Dorger de Cavoy. This Dorger was a valet involved in a political scandal concerning the poisoning of prominent figures and an illicit affair. He had information that could implicate high-ranking members of the French court, possibly even close to the king. His silence was paramount, not because he was royal blood, but because what he knew could shatter the fragile facade of power and virtue at Versailles. His knowledge, not his lineage, made him dangerous. Ultimately, the true identity remains officially unconfirmed. Louis Roman XIV carried the secret to his grave. The iron mask, whether velvet or steel, became a symbol of absolute power, of secrets buried deep within the heart of a monarchy. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the greatest scandals aren't about what happened, but about what was meticulously hidden. The anonymous prisoner serves as an enduring testament to the dark intrigues of European royal courts. Uncover more secrets from history's most powerful families by watching our next video on the Borgias.